When you were a child, there were many times when you'd probably be in complete disagreement with your friends. Two distinct camps and schools of thought developed, and none of them were as big as the fight between Pokemon and Digimon. And if you're like me, these are arguments you're still having as an adult. I fall distinctly on the side of Digimon, and I always have. To be clear, we are talking about the anime series and not the games. Whilst Digimon has had some stellar releases in that realm, Pokemon will always have the upper hand. Pokemon Gold is, well, pure fucking gold. But with the shows, Digimon totally eats Pokemon's lunch. The only area Pokemon beats it is with the theme song. Otherwise, almost every aspect of Digimon was superior. It had a more concise and evolving story, whereas Pokemon pretty much just followed the games. Catch Pokemon, fight gym leader, repeat, which in a video game setting is a totally addicting loop, but not really great when you're trying to tell a non-interactive narrative. And it took forever for Ash to reach each gym, whereas when you're playing the game, you beeline for that next badge. Digimon was a much darker story as well, that actually changed over time. It was serial versus Pokemon's more procedural, and whilst on their own, serial shows and procedural shows have their own pros and cons, it just worked much better in Digimon's favour. Things ramped up in Season 2, as it focused on a new group of kids while still keeping us informed as to the actions of the previous generation. Season 2 also had a sympathetic human villain, and the surprising return of Myotismon, which if you remember, was most likely the first time you ever shit your pants in disbelief. Pokemon had its moments, of course, and if you don't shed a tear during the Pokemon movie, you really are subhuman. But these moments are few and far between, with the between being really dull and slow moving. That's why I've been so excited with the release of Digimon Adventure Tri, an anniversary celebration of the series that follows the original kids 6 years after the group first stepped into the digital world. Tri is being broken up into 6 films, which are being released theatrically in Japan, but if you don't happen to live in the land of the rising sun, you can catch it on Crunchyroll in an episodic format. The first film is called Reunion, and really is about bringing all the original cast back together. And that immediately tells you one thing: they're no longer all together. Most of the group is at the same high school, but a rift has grown between all of them, something that I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to. The film opens up with a cool animation vaguely describing the beginnings of the digital world in a very biblical manner. Something is clearly wrong, with glitchy Digimon popping up and electronic devices acting screwy. The film doesn't entirely give us an answer as to exactly what's going on. There are 5 other parts to get through, of course, but we know it has at least something to do with this girl and her cat Digimon. The animation is solid, and there are some really cool action scenes, but overall the pacing is a tad on the slow side, mainly to give away for the much more interesting human story taking place. These characters are growing up, entering adulthood, and with that, things get a little more complicated, especially for Tai, who wonders, with all the devastation occurring with the so-called infected Digimon, what role does he play? Is he helping by fighting with Agumon at his side, or only exacerbating the situation? This creates the biggest conflict in the story, with Matt on the other side, who sees things more in black and white, fully believing that their only option is to keep on fighting. Tai and Matt, of course, are not the only Digidestined, with the others experiencing their own growing pains, such as their newfound romantic urges and their desire to succeed in the future. The film takes the world and characters we remember and gives them new levels. Even Tai's goggles make a return, in a more developed way, acting as scanners to view the disturbances in the digital world. Reunion acts as a great opening for the anniversary film series Digimon Adventure Tri. Despite a slightly slower pace, and its themes not being wholly original, it's fascinating to see these characters in a different, more mature light. It also ends with a satisfying conclusion, while still leaving things open for future installments. If you loved Digimon as a child, and you did any growing up emotionally in the time since then, Adventure Tri's first film Reunion is absolutely worth a watch.